At Man City Fan TV, we're really pleased to promote this wonderful sketchwork artwork by a lady called Leslie Ross. You can follow Leslie on Twitter at 111Leslie111 and also follow her on Facebook and Twitter at 9320art. Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, final whistle went about 5 minutes ago and City beat Bournemouth 1-0. I'm here with Ray. Just your initial thoughts, Ray. Just a minute. Sum it up. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, Bournemouth sets up with the usual 5-4-1. I'll give them credit. They defended really, really well.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Nathan Aké's performance. I think he was outstanding, and for me, he was pretty much man of the match because he kept them in that game.
He was my man of the match.
Yeah.
By a long way.
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, and the guys, the young kids around him, I think one was Smith, I can't remember the chap's name, they were very, very good. But let's be honest, I mean, sometime in that first half, I saw a possession stat, we had 80% possession. Well, we were all over them.
When we're on about stats, if we have a look at match stats, first off, possession for the overall, this is the overall game. 18% Bournemouth, 82% City. Shots, 0 by Bournemouth, 23 by City. Shots on target, 0, 7 by City. Corners, 0, 14 by City. Fouls, 7 each. So, I mean, it does say all. I thought, even though the last 10 minutes I was worried, I thought, the last 10 minutes they might just throw the kitchen sink at us, especially at 1-0. We needed that second goal. We didn't get it, and they threw a few long balls in, but I thought our defence coped with it really well.
Yeah, we were very good. I mean, we got a couple of hammer blows with KDB going off with what looked like, hopefully, a minor hamstring injury.
Yeah, so
serious. He'd have been lying down, and it helped. Then John Stones, it looked like he'd been struggling apparently throughout the game, and he went off about a minute or two into the second half. So obviously we've got Vinny and Nico. You can argue not the fastest of defensive pairings at centre back, but let's be honest, they did a very, very good job. Kept a tight ship, kept us in control. A couple of dodgy passes, but that's going to happen if you're going to have 600 or 700, 800 passes in a game. You'll have a couple of dodgy ones here and there. But I think overall, we dominated that game. We dominated Bournemouth. They're just obviously looking for a little bit of luck here or there. And they didn't get it. And let's be honest, we deserve that win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was total. Thought the West Ham game was domination. Today was like total domination. And but in those type of games, you're always concerned that just, I think at one point, towards the end, with about 5 minutes to go, you could see Pep on the sideline saying, no fouls, no fouls. I mean, he was concerned that if we gave away a cheap free kick, we all know anything can happen. It could be, an own goal. It could be a great free kick, and somebody gets a flick on it, it goes in or whatever. So he was concerned at the end, knowing that we're not got that second goal, and don't give them anything.
I mean, they could have scrambled a wonder goal like Paris did.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've had it, we've seen it happen to us this season. So, yeah, it was a tight one in respect of the result. It was domination, possession wise from us. We started off the game, and we looked in control right from the word go. I mean, it was moving the ball around quickly. I thought Gundogan had a really good game today. He slotted into Fernandinho's role really well. I don't think Bournemouth pressed him enough and gave him a lot of time, but he dictated the play. And we got to half-time with not a great deal, really. I mean, we had one or two sort of half chances and things like that, but we sort of went in at half-time thinking, a bit like the West Ham game. It was a little bit, I think with the West Ham, we're not creating enough.
I think the difference with the West Ham game, we created a lot early on in West Ham. We've got behind them a lot. That's our favourite move, really, is to get someone to the byline and cut it back along the floor, not in the air, towards the penalty spot. That's our signature move, really. And I don't think Bournemouth give us that opportunity to do that. And I agree with you. Gundogan had a really good game. I've said it time and time again. You give him space and time, he's a top class player.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, I've got to say something about the ref, because very early on there was a through the back challenge on I think Sterling after 4 minutes, and that was Mepham. Now, my opinion, and I think in the law state you can't do that. It's a yellow card offence. And it's sad that refs are so scared to give these bookings, which are a booking. If it had been done 20 minutes later, it would have been a booking. We should have given that. We had a couple of chances. I think there's a good one that Silva had that he put wide, which was a...
Yeah.
But I don't think our final ball was good enough in that first half. Losing Kev just before half-time, was a bit of a blow. But we had enabled... we've got good players on the bench. It's not as if we got weak players, with Mahrez and Sane. So, we can adapt and move Bernardo around if we want. So I don't think it affected us too much.
Obviously, the good news is that he walked off. And now, if it was anything serious, he wouldn't have walked off. He would have had some assistance, etc. So I think, by the sounds of it, lip reading him as he was coming off to the players, and Pep, he just felt something in his hamstring, and I think it was more of a sensible move on his part, going, I don't want to risk it. Let me just get in and have a look at it. And then obviously with the John Stones one, I think that's a thigh muscle injury, because they were saying that he had an ice pack on his thigh. So it could be just tweaks, and I don't think at this stage of the season we want to take any chances with anybody. I think Pep's obviously said to them, if you feel anything, get off the pitch. Do not continue whatever you do.
We don't need to risk them. We've got a week before our next game. That actually might mean both of them recover in that week. Or we could argue that it's at home against Watford. We can give them a few days and save them for Schalke. I mean, you're right. There's no point risking players, risking injury. Kev's played 6 out of the last 7 games. So, he's only just come back from injury again. There's no point risking it. Get them off. And it's up to the rest of the team to do the business for us. I mean, it's a team game. It's a squad game. It's not just 11. Whoever comes off the bench has to help the team, and Mahrez certainly did that.
Yeah, he did. So Mahrez came on, given an opportunity ahead of Sane, because he could have easily just put Sane on the left and switched Sterling to the right. And dropped Bernardo deep, but he didn't. He gave Mahrez another chance. And then, as we know, nice little move from Zinchenko and David Silva. Ball came across, hit it first time with his right foot, in at the near post, 1-0. Pleased for him, really pleased for him. Can't say he did much for the rest of the game, I'll be honest with you. And the one where Sterling went through on the keeper made a save, and then it was pretty much hit it anywhere, either side of, was it Aki again?
Hit it on time.
Yeah, and he sort of skied it 80 feet in the air, but it's one of those. But I'm really pleased that he got his goal, and it was a goal at an important time that certainly helped us sort of settle down, and we could keep the ball, much more.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need a wonder goal. It was a bit of a scruffy goal. I think the goalie should have saved it. Should.
Keepers. I mean, it wasn't like he blasted it. I mean, keeper should get beat at the near post. I think he tried to anticipate him going across the goal, but ended up sticking his left leg out, and he was nowhere near. Sort of flicked his leg and went in and whatever. But a goal's a goal. We'd take anything.
Take it. I mean, after that we had a good few chances.
Yeah.
I think had a chance after 64 minutes. Another good run through where he came down on the left after 68. But I think he did a pass to Sergio. Sergio's shot wasn't as good as it could have been. One we were just talking about, 76 minutes. So it's coming regularly. We had these chances where Sterling was clean through again. But, so we had a lot of opportunities. That great. It was a cross to Mahrez.
Was it? Yeah, a cross shot. It looked like a cross.
It was a cross. He looked up, saw Mahrez, and he crossed it, and he mishit it. I've got to say this. I mean, this is not. I'm not picking him out. I'm not singling him out. When I was a kid, you were taught to follow everything in. And you could see when he thought that was going over the bar, Mahrez stopped chasing. Now, it may have been that he wouldn't have beaten Ake to the second ball, but you can't just stop. You've got to keep going with hope. It was a very windy day today down at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And it was swirling. It was keeping balls in when you think they were going out. And you never give up hope. You know, taught as a kid, even now, I'm playing football, never give up hope because you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, we had a lot of attempts. Aguero had another good one where he ran across the pitch. It's a great Aguero to go basically sideways, and his shot was weak. But I'll tell you what, he must have been knackered because he worked really, really hard. I mean, that's one of the great things about Aguero now. You see him dropping back to pick up the ball, to lay it off, chasing the goalie, chasing defenders. He works so hard. Absolute credit to the guy.
Yeah, he did. He worked his socks off. I thought Zinchenko had another very, very good game.
Yeah.
I thought Raheem Sterling had a wonderful game. You know, he looked dangerous all the time, and he kept dropping deep to pick up the ball in the central area or slightly to the left, and looking for Zinchenko to overlap him. And I thought today, you know, Raz worked his socks off and did really, really well. So 3 points are all that matters. That's it at the end of the day. We don't care at this stage. Obviously, goal difference, you know, if Liverpool were to go and, you know, stuff Everton 5-0, it starts dragging that down again. But we'll forget goal difference for now. 3 points is away from home at Bournemouth. We know that it's going to be tough day condition-wise as well. Moving on then, if we go through the team, and if we can just give them a bit of a player ratings, whatever, you know, I know it's hard and we've not had time to review it, but if I say Ederson, my standard is slap everybody off with a 7. Played extra well, you get marks. If you make some ricks, you lose marks. So I'll give Ederson a 7. Don't really think he did anything wrong. The short passing was good, long passing was good, and he kicked the ball long at the right time. So I'll give him a box standard 7 for Ederson. Okay, I'll agree with that 7. Kyle Walker.
He did make a couple of dodgy passes. It wasn't rubbish. So there's no question about that. He made some good tackles. A bit of a foul later on. I mean, I want to give him a 6.5.
I'll give him a 6 because I didn't think he had a great game. I thought in the first half in particular, his passing was wayward. His control was, you know, controlling of the ball. It kept bouncing away from him, and he was diving in at the last minute to retrieve it. And then he made a couple of good crosses. Made lots of overlaps, came back and came back. But I thought today, I thought he was just slightly off with his passing today, and I don't know. I'll give him a 6. I didn't think he had a great game. Moving through, Stones, half game.
Yeah, a standard game. He only played half a game.
Yeah.
I can't really remember him doing anything wrong, so 7 from me.
Yeah, same for me. Otamendi.
I'll give Nico 7.5. I mean, he same as Stonesy, but he played a full game. Extra half mark for that overhead kick. Fabulous overhead kick. Well, great technique. Don't listen to the commentator saying he nearly scored. No, he didn't nearly score. I mean, he went over the bar and the keeper was there, but it was great technique. And he did some good passes, some good tackles. He put himself about. Good heads. He won some good headers.
I don't know whether you're knocking your desk because your camera's going up and down.
It's me.
Yeah, don't bounce.
I'll give Nico
a 7.5. Okay, I'm going to give him an 8 because I thought he had a very, very good game today. I thought he was superb. He didn't hardly put a foot wrong. He was strong in the tackle. I mean, he made a couple of really, you know, dangerous, brave headers when, you know, head to head, and he didn't pull out with any of them. So I'm going to give him an 8 today. I thought he was excellent. Zinchenko,
I'll give him an 8. I think he did really well. I like the way when, like you say, when Raz came deeper, Zinchenko went wide. The Bournemouth defenders were confused. Do they go follow Raz? Do they step? You know, that was great. He put some decent crosses.
Made one or two brilliant crosses.
Yeah, some lovely triangles. Kept the ball well with Raz. Did his defensive duties pretty well for most of the game. Got beat a couple of times, but hey, you know, it's going to happen. You've got some fast players for Bournemouth, some strong, big players. I think well-deserved 8 from me.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. I thought, again, he had another brilliant game. He was superb. And he's really staking a claim, and he's, you know, saying to Pep, if you want to get rid of Mendy, I'm your man, you know. So fair play to him. He's taking his chances, and that's what we want. Into the midfield then, Gundogan.
Gundogan, I'll give him an 8. I think he did a good job. I don't think he had, like you say, as much defensive work to do. And as I said, give him time and space. He's a great playmaker, great passer of the ball. And just a couple of good ones over the top that created opportunities later on. So, yeah, I'm happy to give him an 8.
Yep, gets an 8 from me. I thought he was solid today, moved the ball quickly, which was all important, certainly when they are sitting deep. If we hold on to the ball too long in that position, then it gives them a time to move across the pitch. So I thought he kept the ball moving really well today. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and I'm giving him an 8. Kevin De Bruyne.
Obviously, he didn't last the first half. It was a mixed bag for me. It was a mixed bag. He had some good control of the ball. Some of his passing, he's still not at the races. When I say the races, at his level, you know, he played a decent game for somebody else's level, but not for his level. A couple of good crosses, a couple of weaker ones. I'll give him a 6.5.
Okay, I'll possibly agree with you. I'll go 6.5 as well. He's still not there yet, and he needs time, and it's a shame now with his slight injury. So, David Silva.
David Silva, I thought, also had a mixed bag. You know, he had that shot that was off target, couple of not so good touches, but he also had some good play, especially in the second half. So you weigh it up, and I'll fall on a 7 for him because, you know, he had a couple of bad moments, but a couple of good ones as well.
I agree. Yeah, 7 for me. Moving out to Bernardo Silva.
I think at the start of the game, a lot of the ball was out on the left. Bernardo didn't get much of it at all in the first 15 minutes or so. But when he did get it, he exuded confidence. Yeah. He controls the ball well. He doesn't generally know when to pass it back, when to wait for KDB to make a run or Walker to come on the outside and just to slip it through. Not as good as I think he West Ham and some other previous games. But I think overall, above average, I'll give him a 7.5.
Okay, I'll give him a 7. I thought he had a same as you. There were some good moments, and then other moments. He didn't do anything in particular wrong, but he did do. I don't think he did anything special. Yeah. But he was. It's great to have a player who can play wide right and also come back in Kevin's role. So solid 7 for me. Sergio Aguero.
I'll give Serge an 8. He did work really, really hard. I mean, it was very tough with all those, 3 centre backs. There's not a lot of space in that box. He would come deep. He would take the ball deep. He would shield it. He would pass it off, lay it off. Long balls from Edison. He would control them. He'd fight for them. He put a lot of effort in. He didn't score a goal, but hey, I mean, that doesn't matter. I think overall, his play deserved an 8.
Okay, I'll give him a 7.5, or an 8. He worked his socks off. Didn't really come off for him today. But as long as he keeps working hard, that's the main thing. And finally, on for the starting 11, Raheem Sterling.
I'll give Raza tossing up between a 7.5 and an 8. I know you'll give at least an 8. Well, I'll give him an 8 because I think he was dangerous. The defenders were always worried by him. They were always trying to double team him. He played well and linked well with Zinchenko. He had a couple of chances which I think he should have scored something. I think he should have scored something today, which probably stops me giving him a higher mark. I think for 8 feels a bit generous, but he had those chances. he created some good openings. So yeah, I'll be generous and give him an 8.
8 for me. Solid game for the reasons you said. So looking at the first sub, obviously we had Mahrez came on for Kevin De Bruyne right at the very end. He didn't have much in the first half, but how do you think Mahrez played? What rating have you given Mahrez?
Look, I know there'll be some criticism. I'm going to give him a 6. He scored the goal, but I don't think he did enough. That's my humble opinion. I think he should have done better with that balloon shot after Raza went through. I don't think he affected the game as much as I'd liked him to have done, as much as Bernardo was doing out there. But hey, look, he got his goal, and hopefully that will give him a little bit more confidence. And fingers crossed, next time he plays, he'll be raring to go.
Well, I'll give him a 6. I'm giving him a 7 for the fact that he scored, and I'm going to give him an 8 for the fact that it was the winner. So, but I agree, I would have given him a 6. If he hadn't scored, I would have given him a 6, because apart from the goal and apart from that balloon shot, which he should have done a lot better, because he was poor technique, he was leaning right back, and then, you know, instead of getting over the ball,
it's a shame because
he didn't do a great deal, considering he had near enough he had a whole half to impress, but he gets the goal and he gets the winning goal. So for me, he gets an 8 for that.
That's going to be the headline. Mahrez gets an 8 from Andy.
Hey, I'm being honest. Like I said, we critique players, and it's certainly not Mahrez hater, not at all. It's just, if he's not doing it, I'll say so. If Kevin De Bruyne is not doing it, I'll say so. And if David Silva's not doing it, I'll say so. And these are just opinions. So I'm going to be, I would have given him a 6, but he scored, so he gets a 7. But it's a winning goal, so he gets an 8 from me. Vinny Kompany came on.
I think he did well. I think he led the team. Give him a 7.5, because I think, you know, coming on just after half time, I'm not sure whether he was expecting to come on that quickly. He's probably been warned that he might have to. But look, he led the team well. I don't really think he did anything wrong. He was quite sure-footed, and he helped us see out the win. So I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, he gets a 7 from me. Did nothing wrong. He was absolutely solid, and just brought that little bit of calmness at the end, because he's a leader. And he works well with Otamendi. They know each other inside out. So Gabby came on at the end, and it was I can't give him a score. I mean, it was only a few minutes, but it was good to see him get some game time and give Sergio, who looked knackered, a rest. If you had to give a man of the match to anybody on the pitch today,
well, it was Aki.
I think we both will agree it was Nathan Aki.
Yeah, he was everywhere he had to be. He dealt with Aguero pretty well. He made a lot of interceptions, a lot of clearances. I think without him, we could have steamrolled them, especially with the young kids around him. I think he played an exceptional game. So he's my man of the match.
Yeah, he gets a 9 off me. If it was 0-0, he would have got a 10. I thought he was absolutely outstanding, absolutely brilliant today. But because he was on the losing team, I give him a 9. But if it would have been 0-0, I would have given him a 10. I thought he was that good. He was absolutely brilliant. And you look at him and think, you know, we're talking about the money that Delete and all the others are talking about. You know, there's a kid who has done it in the Premier League, knows what it's about, and is physically strong. He's calm on the ball. He's good bringing the ball out. He's not afraid to tackle. He's positionally well. He marshals his defence brilliantly. I mean, I've been really impressed with him since his move to Bournemouth. I thought he's been brilliant. And again today, I thought he was the shining light on the pitch. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, he was a player of the season last season for Bournemouth. All the way through, he was pretty solid all the way through. If he was, I wouldn't say he's available, but if we were to go after him, what do you reckon the money would be?
I'd say about 40 million quid.
Sounds about right.
I'd say somewhere in that region. I think he's one of the better centre backs in the Premier League out of all the teams.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, your Van Dijks would cost you 100 million now and all that type of thing. Now, if we're looking at centre backs and we're looking at, you know, the likes of Delete, etc., I cannot see them letting him go for less than 50, 60 million quid.
Yeah.
And we don't know how good he is in the Premier League. One thing is when you've got centre backs, like the reason why we're rumoured to go after Chilwell, because he's shown his worth in the Premier League, and I think it's a big thing. And yet Aki's been absolutely consistently good last season, and he's been again brilliant this season. And today, like I said, I thought he was outstanding, absolutely brilliant. And he's not just a Harry Maguire who can sort of lump the ball here and do this, and he marshalled, for such a young kid, he marshalled that defence today like he was 29, 30, you know, like a Vinny Company style. And he's good on the ball, he's calm, he's positionally brilliant. He reads the game so well. So, you know, if we're going to go for a centre-back, I would be hoping Pep Guardiola's actually seen him today and thought, maybe we'll keep a close eye on him for the remainder of the season, if he's not already.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's good to have plan B, C, and D, because if you go from Matthijs de Ligt and Ajax start to play hardball and say 60, 70 million quid,
yeah, which no doubt they will, no doubt they might do.
You want to walk away pretty quick, move on down your list.
Yeah.
So Aki, he looks decent, very decent. He's a young kid. How old? He must be like 22, 23.
23, nearly 24, I think.
Can't be that old. So he's in a good young age to develop further under Pep. He's a good shout.
Yeah. But anyway, it's 3 points. We move on. We get a week's rest now, and we move on to seeing what Liverpool do with against Everton tomorrow, and it should be a great game. It should be a great game.
To be honest, mate, I don't care what Liverpool do.
Yeah, well, I do.
Yeah.
I want them to lose, but
mate,
you know,
I'll spend tomorrow afternoon washing my hair. I mean, I don't care about that.
No, that'll take you all of a second. Anyway, we'll do some more videos tomorrow. Probably maybe a transfer video and things like that. We'll have transfer video. We'll have a wash up of the game and looking at any rumours that are out there of maybe the injuries. We might know a little bit more tomorrow. So anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Don't forget, click subscribe, click notification. Keep commenting below the video. Give us your player ratings below. What do you think? Do you agree with me and Ray, or do you disagree? But anyway, Ray, see you tomorrow, mate.
See you, mate. Take care.
Take care.